Hey, Fitzy here, back at it again with another one. Guess what I'm at today? I'm on a parts hunt. There's what I'm after there. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be, though. That's it. Anyway, I'm out here in the woods today, snooping around in an old spot I haven't been to in years. I'm going to take you guys along and show you a bunch of 40s and 50s stuff, so stick around. Too bad on that one. 55 Chevy wagon. Anyway. We're in here now, looking for old iron. Walking along this trail here now. We're in the spot outside St. John's. And right off the bat, I see a tire. So, this is an old spot I used to come when I was younger. It's been a few years since I've been in here. See if we can see some stuff. You walk down these trails, you don't know what you're going to see. Looking on either side of me here, you see a bit of debris there. The remains of a car. And there, some sort of truck by the looks of it. Looking through there, you can see the old steel. We'll make our way in through here and see what we can find. And you come in just as far as here. And if you look closely, you can see debris off the distance. Look through the trees, you see colors, blues and greens that are not trees. Let's go in there and investigate. Everywhere you look, there's old iron. Much of it is long gone now. This is what a lot of it's like that now. You just pick it up and crush it in your hands. Even the frame rails. So, looks like an English car. A few English rigs in here for sure. Let's have a look around, see what's here. Looks to be a 54 Chevy. Yeah. Don't know what that one is. Interesting, though. I've been doing these trips now a while and doing videos on them, and I keep getting asked the same questions over and over again. So I'm going to clarify some stuff here now. This is not private land. This is what they call crown land. This is all owned by the government, okay? We have a lot of that in Newfoundland, and this is where all the stuff ends up going. Why is it not put in dumps? Back in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, right up until the early 80s, we did not have recycling here in Newfoundland, okay? A lot of the garbage dumps were incinerators, places and stuff like that, and there was they wouldn't accept steel, okay? So all washers, drawers, and cars had to be disposed whatever way possible. Every community in Newfoundland has one of these places. It was a place where people could go and just discard their cars. Nobody would see it. It'd be out of the way. And if anybody wanted a few parts, they just go in and get them off the cars. I've been doing this now since I'm about 13 years old, probably even younger. And I've had to find a lot of places. I'm willing to say there's hundreds of places in Newfoundland like this that are still around. In the early 80s, recycling started. A lot of the places got cleaned up. So when I first started finding cars, I was finding a lot of 60s and 70s cars and early 80s cars. And but now what you're left with is the stuff that was deep in the woods. That's 40 and 50, cars. So that's the reasoning behind I want to straighten you up on that and let you know why all this stuff is here. Okay, why it hasn't been cleaned up? It hasn't bothered nobody. There's trails out here you can go by this and never ever see it. All this stuff, this was an open field when these cars were put here. Probably small trees or whatever, they were driven in here, they were pushed in here, towed in here. All these trees are probably here 30 odd years. These cars are here 40, 50 years. And that's the reason why you're wondering, why is that car in them trees? The car was there before the trees were. I just want to clarify that because I had the same questions asked over and over again about the reasoning for cars like this, because I know on the mainland is not something you see a lot of, but we were on an island and recycling was not something you ever heard of. Every community had one of these little spots. Seems to be a lot of English stuff in here that has a very small engine bay. Wraparound windshield. Looks to be the chassis out of a Chevy truck. I recognize the box, 8-foot box. Could be a 9-foot box, that's pretty long. The old cab mounts there. Yeah, it's a GM, I can tell by that front mount. Half the fun of being in here is trying to identify stuff. This one here looks to be like another 53, 54 Chev. You recognize the ribs on the firewall. This has a different dash than the 51 and 52. That's how I can tell it's a different rig. I gotta watch it in here. I just disturbed the wasp nest, so I'm gonna be very careful now. Seems like the wasp nest was in the ground, so I'll snoop around for another little bit, and if I disturb another one, time for me to leave. Give him a look. I come in here looking for a 55 Chev. I found it over there by the wasp nest, but looking for a dash section, but it's too far gone. I'm having to look around now, take you guys along and see what else is here. It's amazing the stuff that's kicking around in the woods now. But it's that mangled now, it's hard to recognize any of it. It's a good frame rail here in the Bristol. Chassis rail. That one here looks to be a Pontiac because I've got the bar down the middle. You wonder how all this stuff got in here. I've talked about this in past videos. These cars were here before these trees. I say this was just a big open field. And it was in the Ghouls, which is a town outside of St. John's. And this is the dumping grounds that they had for dumping cars. One of a few, tell you the truth. But there's a scattered 70s car in here, but mostly everything in here is 40s and 50s. So I'm going to say this was a dumping ground since the early 60s. garnish molding. Firewall section. It's all returning to the earth now. On the Avalon, there's not a lot of stuff that you can probably salvage off any of this stuff now. Maybe some hard parts like hinges or a bracket or a chassis piece. But for the most part, this is just entertainment now. Come in and see what's available, what's around her. Be entertained by looking at all the stuff. But every time you move through the woods here, you glance out through the trees, and off in the distance, you will see more stuff. So I'm just walking around now, taking you guys along, looking back through there. And why am I breathing? I'm an old fella. You can see there, huh? And everywhere you look, there's old steel. Look, down through there. There has to be a couple hundred cars here for sure. A lot of this stuff was left when we had to clean up in the 70s. There was a lot more stuff in here. This is the stuff that was deep in the woods, and when you used to come in this road that leads into this, there used to be spots all along that. That's a rarity that was put in here recently. There's a new car. That's something you see every day when I'm out hunting around. I'm willing to say quite possibly this was a stolen vehicle, and it's still in here. That's about all you'll find in the woods now these days is people stolen cars. Over here is probably the newest one of them all. This looks to be like a 76 Nova. This one here. Old two-door too. But every time you look, there's something else out in the distance. It's nice to walk through here because the trees are pretty well open here. And you can pretty well just walk through everything. This looks to be just like a pile of scrap steel. Some sort of truck body by the looks of it. Yeah, just scrap steel. Old container of some sort. Got a seat and everything in it. It's unusual, isn't it? Looks like something homemade. Look at the old fender, look. It's probably a bus. It's probably what that was, a bus. Just look at the quarter panel on the Nova, look. Good rust. This is what we dealt with here. Rough skin on it. It does not break down my hands there. I gotta watch what I moves and disturbs now, because I've already disturbed one nest. I don't want to disturb no more. You can just keep going and going. Back in through here. There's probably well over an acre here of just cars. gonna walk right through the middle of a car here. Though. It's the floor underneath me. I just keep walking along. I see something, I go towards it. What is this now? Trying to identify the chassis and the cross member and the way it's designed. It's a leaf spring car, quite possibly a Ford. Was a 4-door. Yeah, it's hard to identify what that one is. The cross member. It was a two-tone color, two-tone green. There you go, the door handles are there. So she took clips. She got like a, see the hinge there? I heard buzzing that time. Move on, Tony. Standing here now, looking through the trees there. You can see stuff, more stuff down there. Everywhere you look. I'm heading back now. There's the burnt car over there. So I got my bearings again. If you don't know me, I haven't got a good sense of direction at all. Like tells everybody I get lost in the cul-de-sac. Over there is where we started. That's where the bee's nest is too, over there. I'm going to stay clear there. Looks like another English car. Quarter panel, probably like an Anglia or something. 60s model. Usually just like little details to identify them. Some of you guys can help me. You can see the body line on it. It looked to be a double headlight unit. To me, I'm thinking Dodge, Chrysler. Or she got her windshield post or window post on the door leans forward. Looks to be a Morse. Little dash. Over here now is the one that I always talks about when we talk about this spot. This here is a 57 Chevy. When I first came in here, this car was basically all together, just laying here. But she's been picked clean. A lot of her parts now are laying around. You can see trunk lid that is over there. There's a quarter panel there. One door, two doors. There's absolutely no bottom there. That's just all earth. You can see the chassis rail sticking up there, the earth. Actually, I can kick that out there. Watch what you're at, Tony. Another English car. Unitized. You see the trunk lid and the tail section. A fender off something else. The door handle on it. The way the top's on them there tells me it's like an English door, like a Morse or something. When I say English, it could be a lot of things. We were an English colony for a lot of years, so there's a lot of cars in Newfoundland in the woods that are from across the pond. My father used to have a lot of Cortinas, them type cars. Let's make our way across the field, since we got this all covered over here. I'm gonna head back over. Got my bearings, just the car with the lines and the fenders. Oh, Bob, or you gotta watch what you're walking, not in here too. I put my work boots on today to come in here, just in case I stepped on anything. I was kind of hoping to get a dash out of here, but yeah, I can tell by looking at all the metal, it's all rough. Oh, we're back over here again. Let's go back over this way. I'm just taking the easiest routes across. I say to calm down there now, so I'm going to show you what I was after. I don't hear the bees as bad now, but apparently there's a nest in the ground right here. And I disturbed it. I walked right on through there earlier. But what I came in to get was right here. This is a 55 Chevy Nomad, or well, not Nomad, it's a station wagon, it's a 4-door one. You see the back hatch section, the roof. But I was after the dash section. I need the tops, but they are rusty. So, not much left of that. Can you hear him buzzing around? Let's get out of here. Good way with the dash right out of this, look. Tells you how long I was in her. Been down through here, I think. Yes, that's the Chevy. It's the burnt car. Okay. Look at the front on this, look. X-frame. I can remember coming in looking at that saying, I want to come in and get that for a hot rod. It's still there. How bad's it now, I wonder? Can I make my way over to that? I'm not going to crawl over top of this. I'm not as young as I used to be. I was jumping across top of these when I was in here when I was younger. But these were my playgrounds. Some people liked the sceneries and fishing and stuff like that. To me, I would spend hours in the woods looking for old iron. Dash, huh? Another big boat. A lot of 50 stuff in there for sure. '56 Chev. Dashing that, I wonder. Was that a 57 again? Or is it even a Chev? No, it's not a Chev. It's got the different dash in her. We were looking at that earlier. This seems like an English car. I'm backtracking over a lot of this stuff here now. But I'm coming at it from different angles. Trying to move over. Oh, I have to pick up box and everything over there. So we did cover this spot already. I'm going around circles here, eh? My beacons, there's that piece of nickel I saw earlier. Leave it to me with a bumper, look. Give you an idea. My size 12 boot. The curvature on that. But you look at everything from a different angle, everything looks different to you. Here's a different angle of everything. I was already in there. And we crashed that trunk lid earlier. I think I pretty well got this covered. This section. We're coming back out onto the path here now. This is what you see when you walks by. And we're back to that burnt car. So I'm going to go out and get my bearings back on the trail again. See what else I can find. Factory Frenched in license plate. Look. Into the trunk lid. Neat. I recognize this rig. Early 60s Chev, Pontiac. I can't see the door or anything on it. A lot of things buzzing around my head here, so I gotta watch what I'm at here. Hopefully they don't disturb running. Yeah. I got them chasing me or following me around here now. There you go. It's a good look at the side of her. Everywhere you look, you see something else. Ah, no trump too. Well, that's another spot we looked at. Lots of cool old stuff. This place is here a long time. I'd say this place was here since the early 60s for sure. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one here. And until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side. Now, how do I get out of here? Am I coming that way? Or coming that way? Ooh. Help. Find my way out somehow. I'm going to go this way. Nope, I'm going to go this way. Or maybe it was that way there. Ah! The truck! Ah.